Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going back to the Evil Queen fight, and it's time to do a quicker clear. So my current record is 6 turns. Let's see if we can speed it up by going for a quicker clear using our new Hyoh. So Hyoh and Genesis are going to deal some damage. Vaughn is going to break and do Human Killer. We're going to use Sylvie for support, Demon, and Insect Killer, and Saz for Field and Fire Imbues. So let's get in here and see if we can speed it up a little bit. So for Phase 1, what we're going to do, we're going to use Vaughn to break the boss's attack power with True Wither. We're going to use Oil for the Fire Imperil, and My Brother's Gone for the 88 breaks. Loving Father Saz is going to imbue the party with fire. We're going to do a Ramping Fire Amplify on the friend, and we're going to do a Field, LB buff, and Stat buff. Sylvie on this turn is going to do Burgeoning, Compassionate, and Resolve so we can survive the thresholds. Genesis is going to do his LB, but not yet. That's going to put up the Sword in Peril. My Hyoh is unfortunately on turn 1 going to do Setup. We're going to do the Field. We're going to use a 100 amp so that he can do some damage next turn. It's not dispellable. And then we'll do Refined Stance for a bigger Fist in Peril. And we're going to OTK turn 1 with Genesis and the friend. So Genesis goes first, Hyoh goes a moment later. And that should be handled of Phase 1, because Phase 1's kind of irritating, a lot of dispels, etc. So for the threshold, the 85 mitigation from Sylvie will make us survive, no problem. It's a gravity attack, so therefore very low damage with 85 mit. Then some AoE poison, we immune it because of Compassionate, and we're good. Okay, so we got completely dispelled, but thankfully the Ramping Amplify from Saz reapplies an amp on the friend, and mine has an undispellable amp from the first turn. So we're going to use Saz on this turn to dual cast. We're going to do Infarega on the party, and we're going to do Bravery for an attack buff. Unfortunately, Genesis will not have a magic buff this turn, but oh well. So Vaughn's going to do his LB. That's going to be a Human Killer buff, and Sylvie's going to go to the Shift form. We're going to do Insect Killer on my Hyoh, Demon Killer on my Hyoh. You know what? Let's do it on the friend because he's slightly higher EX level. Let's Demon Killer on the friend, Insect on the friend, and we're going to do I've Got Your Back on the friend to refill his LB gauge. And now it is time to skip Phase 2 as well. So we're going to LBU, and Genesis will do his Unfocused Meteor. So here we go with that. Wait, Genesis. And that should be the end of Phase 2. Handled. Once again, we skipped an irritating phase. So Saz is probably going to die here. Definitely going to die here. That's okay. We don't need him this turn. Now, unfortunately, with this party, we didn't have a good way to fill our LB gauges, so we're going to have to do a turn 4 clear. But we're getting dispelled yet again on this turn. Super irritating. So Genesis will just go ahead and do Final Verse. That'll refill his mana gauge. Unfortunately, he's going to die this turn, but whatever. Vaughn will, on this turn, do Kiss of Rebirth. That is going to just give us a regeneration so that the Hyohs can survive with their damage over time. Sylvie, because we're not using a tank, Sylvie's going to go to the base form, and we're going to do Defense for the Mirage and the Spirit and Defense buff. We're going to do Petals for the Water Resist, and then we're going to do Vines for the Magic Mitigation. Now the Hyohs are going to do their 150 Amplify and double Absolute Mirror because this gives us Human Mitigation to help survive this turn. We need the Hyohs to survive. We don't care if Genesis dies. So 150 amp and double Guard Claw. And we'll go ahead and chain this up. Now the boss is going to do some AoE magic. We're just going to take it to the face, no big deal. And then the Sylvie will counter revive our Genesis and Saz for this turn. So here we go. We got dispelled yet again. So it doesn't really matter that Genesis died because we get dispelled anyway. Although that does mean that his focus gets kind of wasted. That's fine. Okay, it's time to kill the boss. So Vaughn's going to SLB. That's going to 89 break, 160 in peril, and AoE human killer of the party. Saz will once again Infraga the party because we lost our imbues. Sylvie is going to go to the shift form. We're going to offense for the attack, magic, and LB buff. We're going to insect killer on the friend and demon killer on the friend. So the damage breakdown, the friend's going to look really high compared to mine. He's cheating by getting all the buffs though. So we're going to LB and LB, and Genesis will once again cap with a meteor. So here we go. There is our 4-turn Evil Queen Byakuya fight. So, pretty sure we got all missions. Oh, we didn't do a light damage, who cares? Anyway, there's our clear. So, Saz is using passive provoke, some auto mirage, etc. dual cast on an Esper so that he can do the, what's it called? The bravery buff on turn 2, and then a status immunity card. That doesn't really matter, though. And there you go. He does the field and all that kind of stuff. Sylvie is also secondary provoking, just in case every now and then the boss will kill Saz too quickly on the second threshold and then target someone else. Sylvie can take one of the hits, it's fine. So she's secondary provoking with counter build so that we get our, and not water immune, and counter build so that we can get back our Genesis and our Saz on the kill turn. Vaughn is 400 water resist, so he doesn't die, so we can get his SLB going. Other than that, he's just Breaker and a human killer. And Genesis right here is maxed on Human Demon, a little bit short on Insect Killer. Couldn't quite fit all the killers with this build, but it's fine. And he does, I'm curious how much damage he actually contributed here, because the real star of the show is Hyoh. So right here, he's also our leader, and he's got some chain speed and some multi-killer. And there we go. And then the friend is identical to mine, other than just being higher EX level. So, okay. There it is. Our 4-turn Evil Queen clear. So I guess the next step is going to 3 turns. 3 turns is the absolute quickest we can ever do this fight because of the HP locks. But, yeah. And damage breakdown. That seems wrong. There's no way. Oh, that's because of Phase 1. Phase 1, the boss has no buffs at all, and she's very, very squishy. So yes, that is accurate because in Phase 1, the boss had no buffs, and basically the friend did all the damage in Phase 1. He did 8 billion damage in Phase 1, so it really skews the results because mine was buffing in Phase 1. Then Phase 2 and 3, as you know, the boss gets those huge buffs. Yeah, we did 4 billion in Phase 2, which was probably like, 1.5. Anyway, wow. Wow. Phase 2 is the harder one. It looks really unfortunate because the friend got all the damage in Phase 1. Anyway, there's a 4-turn Evil Queen. Hopefully in the future we can do a 3-turn. And again, as I was saying, that's the quickest we can ever do is 3-turn. Anyway, see you in a bit.